right, number 3, this time they give us a different ordered pair. So number 3, they give us the ordered pair -6, -6. And then we're given that the slope is -3. Okay, so you can still solve this, and I like to do it with slope-intercept form, but I'll show you 2 methods. So I'm going to write down y equals mx plus b. And remember, at the end of the day, we're trying to write the equation in slope-intercept form. So this is what I want to do. I want to write y equals, I already know my slope, -3x, and then plus, it could be plus or minus, the b value. So I'm going to do it in such a way that I'm going to try to figure out b. This ordered pair, this is the x value, that -6. This is the y value, and that is m. I'm going to plug in all 3 of these, x, y, and m, into their respective places, and then solve for b. So y is -6 equals m, which is -3, and then times x, which is also a -6, and then plus b, which we don't know yet. Multiply, we get -6 equals a +18. Negative times a negative is a positive, plus b. And then we're going to subtract 18 to get b by itself. So that goes to 0. This will give us a -24 equals b. So b is -24. So the clean way to write this is y equals -3x minus 24 instead of writing plus a -24. This will be the best way. Now there's another way to do this, probably the way that everyone else will recommend, and I like doing it this way so I only have to deal with one equation. But there is a point slope equation. You would use this one when you're given a point and a slope, and you can use this with any of the others, but whenever that point they give you is a y-intercept, it just simplifies a lot easier. But there's a point slope equation that is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So in here we would be plugging in y1 and y and x1 for the point that we got and the slope. So let's do that. We have y minus the y value of -6 equals -3 times x minus the x value of -6. So I plug those in parentheses just to remind myself that that minus was part of the formula, and when I plug in a negative, I have minus and negative. That's going to change to plus. So then we get y plus 6 equals, we're going to distribute this. So I have a -3x. Now minus a negative, that's a plus 6. But when you do -3 times a positive 6, -3 times a positive 6 is going to give you a -18. And then lastly, you will subtract 6. That goes away to get y by itself, and we get y equals -3x minus 24. So there's point slope form. Either one works. You might like that one, but I just like doing it and solving for b so I don't have to deal with another equation. But this one is not bad either. So that equation is y equals -3x minus 24. And then we have another example. This time they give us 2 points, and we have to do slope formula to find the slope. And then once we have the slope, we can do point slope or find the y-intercept. So number 4, we have 2 ordered pairs. We have -6, -4. And then we have the ordered pair -4, +6. Okay, so slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now you could really do these in a different order. You can do y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay, so the order doesn't really matter if the 1's go in front or the 2's go in front, but what does matter is that whichever y value, so this is x, this is y, I gotta remember alphabetical order, whichever y value you use up front, that x value has to be right below it. So if I use this one up front, then this one has to be right below it. Okay, so that's the thing that matters. You can't do this up front and that one in the back and flip them that way. So I'm just going to go from left to right. So I'm going to do this y value minus this y value. So I'm going to do negative 4 minus 6. And then I'm going to do the same thing with x. Negative 6 minus negative 4. So minus a negative, this becomes plus. This is going to give us a negative 10. When we subtract, because they have different signs, this is going to give us a negative 2. And when I reduce, this is going to give me a positive 5. So my slope is positive 5. And now I can use either one of these points. It doesn't matter. I'll probably just use this first point, and I'm going to use it in point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm going to plug in this point. So y minus a negative 4. So y minus a negative will be plus 4 equals 5 times x minus a negative 6. So minus a negative becomes plus 6. And then we're going to simplify. So y plus 4 equals 5 times x, 5x, 5 times 6, positive 30. Subtract 4. And we get y, that goes to 0, equals 5x plus 26.